brace yourself because I want to show you something pretty cool that we discovered recently. It's not really a new discovery, but it's pretty cool because it's our first time actually testing it in a build. So this massive structure here is a trade show booth that we're building, and it's going to have some storage bins up top and some cattle panels, which is going to be top heavy. So the structure was a little wobbly, more than we would have liked. So we were playing around with different ideas to brace, and of course we did, just the standard 45-degree bracing in a few key places, especially up top where there's going to be a lot of weight kind of on the top of the frame. But we really needed to add more bracing, and we were trying to save on conduit and connectors, not do just a ton of pipes everywhere. So we started playing around with doing some tension bracing, as you can see here, with just off-the-shelf cable from Lowe's. And we've talked about incorporating cable in builds in the past, and we showed a few different ways that you could mount them to your builds, and we saw some ways that community members have used them to kind of pull builds and anchor them to the ground. But this is actually a really surprising, strong method for bracing and providing really rigid support. And we were surprised. We just did 2X braces, as you can see here, one on this side, one on the opposite side, and there's one in the back as well. But this thing is ridiculously rigid. I mean, it barely even wobbles and moves. It's insane how much of a difference it made to add these. And something that we were doing to play around with this idea before actually putting these in place was using ratchet straps to basically just test it. So if you have a build that you make the rectangle or whatever shape it is, you want to test to see if this is a good idea and it's actually going to help for your build, you could just use ratchet straps if you've got some laying around. Basically put it wherever you're going to put it on the frame, and then tighten it the same way it's going to be when you have the cable on there, and see if it actually helps for your specific application, which was pretty cool, and it worked, and that's why we decided to actually go with this method. And so right now we've got two different ways that these are attached. We started with the very top, if you can see up there. We just used an S-hook with the off-the-shelf cable hardware to basically just secure this, and that worked well. It's a pretty easy solution, pretty inexpensive solution. But of course, the very bottom of the verticals, we couldn't do that because there's no exposed conduit end to grab onto. So we did the method that we talked about in that video, where we used a puzzle piece clamp, and then on this side we used adjustable 180, and basically just created a mounting point that we could attach the hardware to, and then tighten the cable and everything like that. And that's a pretty good solution. Of course, if you tighten it too much, you could potentially bend the bolt in the connector. So we're still playing around with ideas, maybe some really cool things. Maybe you could incorporate some kind of hook or something that attaches to the connector. I don't know. Something that's pretty new, we haven't really thought a ton about. So we wanted to show you guys the idea, mention it as a really good solution for a brace, but then also pick your brain, see if you have any ideas or any ways that you might think that you could do this kind of brace. But like I said, it's surprisingly strong, and definitely worth thinking about putting in your builds because it looks good and it's not that expensive to do, because you can get this cable and hardware not that much at Lowe's or Home Depot, different places like that. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I'd love to know if you want to try this in your build. If you do try it, let us know. And if you have any ideas for mounting it in different ways, definitely put it in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next video.